Hello, I am Marianne Collins King, and I have the pleasure of visiting today with Ted Ruiz. He is the president of AdVenture Video Productions. In this day and age, it's all about video. Hello, Ted. How are you today?
Good, Marianne. Thanks for having us in.
Of course, of course. Tell us about video and its enormous impact on the community and the world at large.
Well, obviously, the statistics are there about the importance of video, how people are using it just for their social purposes and so forth. But for businesses, it's crucial that if they aren't using video now, that they adopt a strategy and implement it into their marketing.
And the reason for that would be?
The reason, because nothing is reaching your customers like video. We're in a world of video right now. And the key ways that a company would use video, one is for their website. It's very typical, people do Google searches.
Right.
And if someone finds a video on your website, they're 85% more likely to buy your product or service if you have a video on your website.
Excellent. And then I would imagine if there was a video on your particular website, someone would look at it again. So they're probably twice as likely?
Well, right, because as we get some information, we may share it with our spouse.
Yes.
What I find frequently, some employee within a organization will run across one of our videos. They immediately send that up the pipeline to the decision makers.
Right.
And that is huge, because then the customers are coming to us, they're more informed, they get what we do for them, and they're more likely to close a deal than if I go out and try and sell someone, try and explain the benefits. It's just so much easier owning a business, running a business, when your customers come to you.
So really what it comes down to is knowing your audience, such as your market, and then based upon that, ensuring, for example, AdVenture takes that opportunity to customize that particular video for them on their website. Exactly.
It should be geared toward your target audience. Another way companies are using video, email is still a fairly common practice in a company's marketing efforts.
Yes.
And what we branded as the e-video, when the recession hit, and I saw a lot of businesses struggling, closing their doors, Constant Contact and Chipmonkey were coming along pretty strong. And companies couldn't afford to create a traditional TV campaign, because it's thousands of dollars for a very short run, and you don't know who's watching it.
Exactly.
So I call it invented, that may be a little strong, but we invented the e-video concept. So a company could come in, record 2 or 3 short messages, they can embed that video link very easily, post that on YouTube. You don't need to have a server and an IT guy. That gets scary.
And this is helpful, yes.
It's helpful. You post it on YouTube, you copy and paste that link in your email. When people, they're 300% more likely to react to that email, open and click through to find out more about you. If you have a video in that email. That's huge for businesses, return on investment.
Yes, and it's all about the ROI when it comes to business.
Absolutely.
Knowing your market, knowing your audience, and the affordability factor really is key with organizations and businesses. So with that being said, we are going to take a quick look at a video in reference to example of a video with AdVenture.
It's a tough business climate right now. Here are some survival tips. People are 85% more likely to purchase your product or service after watching a video. People spend twice as much time on a website that has video. There's up to a 300% increase in click-through rates when you link a video in an email. 46% of people took action after viewing an online video. A 1-minute video is worth 1.8 million words. These are just some of the reasons why people should use video on their website, social media, email, and other marketing efforts. Video is more important than ever to a business's survival. And AdVenture Video has been pioneering the latest technology and trends of using video for business. So call us. We do video.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that video. And as you can see, the impact of numbers in reference to how video really impacts your business is really key. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more with Ted in reference to his background and as far as his journey that brought him to become president of Adventures. But what we'd really like to know is more about Ted. What is your background?
Thank you, Marianne. I've got a background that could probably relate to a lot of youth. I did not have a lot of enthusiasm for school. I went to San Joaquin Memorial. The only elective we had was a television class.
Okay.
And because my brothers had gone there prior, I knew that this one teacher was easy. So I took it because I knew it would be an easy class and it was off campus, so I could prolong my getting to and from.
Right.
Ironically, about halfway through my freshman year, I got inspired. And this is, I use this story for schools and youth groups all the time. I finally found a passion. I found myself hanging out after school, volunteering my time on weekends to do telethons and those kind of things. And it helped keep me out of trouble.
Right.
And this is what, our kids need to find that passion.
Absolutely.
But so right after high school, I knocked on the door at Channel 24. It was then KMJ TV. And I said, I want a job. And I wanted to be a stuntman. That was my passion as a young man, would be a stuntman. And I thought, well, TV would be a step in the door at 18 years old.
You never know what could happen with TV.
Exactly. And the job really wasn't available anymore, but I said, please take my application. I went back day in and day out. And I knew I was almost making the job person, the hiring person, frustrated. Well, sure enough, after the second week, he said, Ted, I promise I'll tell you next week. We've been in ratings. It's been crazy. I'm like, okay, sorry, Mr. Woligorsky. And I go home. I drive up to the house and my phone's ringing. And he said, Ted, I have never seen anyone so passionate about getting a job.
That's wonderful.
I started in October of 1976. And it was a great career. And then about 1996, I wasn't being inspired by what we were doing in broadcast. And so I started.
And things were changing a lot then, too.
Yes, things were changing. The industry was changing. And I wanted to do my own thing. It's not up to them to make me happy. It's up to each of us to find our own happiness.
And so here's a man with a passion and inspiration who is, here we go again, another inspiring thought indicating maybe it's time to go out on my own.
It was very scary.
So, so tell us about this scary journey that now has come to a great place in our community.
I was raised in a family where you put in 30 years, you got to watch and retire.
Right.
I was the first entrepreneur to branch off, and it was scary. But I walked in, and I had some of our biggest clients that I'd worked with over the past 17 years follow me over. God Shocks, which was a big retail chain.
For many decades.
For many decades. They followed me over, and we started doing their production. After about a year, they kept wanting more and more of my time, and typical, they were asking to discount the rate, and it was a scary decision for a young business owner to say, I can't do that, knowing they would probably leave. But by doing that, when they eventually, after a couple months, they went to a TV station to do their production, we landed, by being free to be back out in the community, we landed Save Mart and Food Max supermarket chains.
Excellent.
And that kept us for 8-9 years. I mean, we were doing, Marianne, shoots at the coast. We would take over Carnival cruise ship.
Wonderful.
And it was just, it was exciting. It was very exciting. I was very blessed.
And with that being said, you said goodbye to the fear and hello to faith.
Yes.
And then you just move forward with that.
Yes.
So both you and I know that when you have really great faith as far as expectancy, and you are an individual that is not only kind but strong and humble, people will want to work with you. Well, and that's what I've noticed within a short period of time that I've known you.
Yeah, thank you. And that's one thing, it snuck up on me.
Yeah.
It really started just as, like I mentioned about, helping our youth.
Yes.
And then during the recession, especially, a big part became helping other businesses to survive, more than just provide them a service that might help them. We actively began donating and discounting our services to keep those doors open.
Right.
And what I found about the last 8-9 years was those little efforts to help others, for the nonprofits we donated, the charities we donated our services, which in a way was to help gain greater awareness of adventure video.
Yes.
That has kind of caught up, and we've kind of become seen as a community, part of the community, an asset to the community.
Absolutely.
And that means far more than the bottom line at the end of the year. When you die, if you feel that you've actually made a difference in your community, that's great. And that kind of snuck up on me unexpectedly.
Right. And I think what that's about is maintaining your integrity through those years. And you had some tough times, but you didn't give up. And you maintained your passion, your integrity, and people watch that. People are aware of it.
Well, it's good to know, because
Yeah.
you never know, and sometimes you feel like you're out there in the ocean alone.
Right.
But I think the biggest time was when the recession hit, and I went for my own help to score in SBA workshops. And the second one is where I saw the other businesses struggling, and that hurt.
Yeah, but there was a fire within you that
Yes.
said, I need to do something different.
Right.
It's time.
Right. And by helping them, it strengthened my passion for
Yes.
keeping every door open, because every door that stays open is one less vacant building. That's how many jobs that are still active. That's a lot of tax revenue
Right.
for our local, state, and federal government.
Absolutely. So with Adventure, I recognize that this organization to me is a pillar of professionalism. So myself as a consumer, and also someone fortunate enough to have a conversation and visit with you today, I'll have to say thank you. But with that being said, what makes Adventure different than any other organizations similar to this video organization?
Excellent question, and thank you for steering the conversation so well. You make it easy to do an interview.
We're having a conversation.
Yes, Adventure Video, the thing that makes us different really is along with, I think, our absolute integrity and customer relations, customer relations is more than just a phrase. It's following through, taking that call at 2 in the morning,
That's right.
taking that email, and I have, and taking that email first thing in the morning, like we were this
Yes,
morning,
yes.
7 o'clock while
That's
I'm shaving.
right.
You and I are having a discussion.
Back and forth, yes.
Exactly. But along with customer service, the big thing really that sets us apart is our wide variety of the tool set we bring to the table. If a client walks in, and we just had a great story that reinforced this about 4 months ago. Client walked in, I did not know he had already given a deposit to one of our competitors.
Interesting.
And he walked in and he started talking through his project. And I'm telling him what we could do, and he said, I'd like to do this, and I'm going, oh, we can apply these tools or this process to it. And about 2/3 of the way through the conversation, he said, Ted, I got to level with you. I've already given a deposit to one of your competitors.
Wow.
But I found that he kept changing what I wanted to do. I didn't realize why until right now. He can't do what you can do for us. And we take the client's project and apply the right tool set rather than making the client's project fit in our tool set.
So it's customized.
Customized.
And you take the time to listen,
Right.
to understand what the needs are, and who their market is, et cetera.
Right.
That's the most important thing. It's all about listening.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
So many times I think people become so busy and they're talking.
Right.
So there's a difference between talking the talk and walking the walk. And I will have to say this organization is really walking the walk.
Well, and the customization in a client's final product,
Absolutely.
I think is key. We encourage our clients to sit in the edit bay with us. Most editors do not want the client around, but if we are in the edit bay and we're making these decisions of the look, the pacing, the music, the graphics, then that may not be what the client wants.
Right.
So
But
customize
you're
it.
sensitive to the customization because you recognize that whatever you put out there, that is going to brand their organization.
Exactly.
And that's what's key.
Right.
And that's what makes Adventure so different. So we know between Adventure and the other organizations in town, what makes you different. So would that also be the same reasons why I would choose Adventure? Because as a business person or as a user of sort in reference to video, a main concern is affordability.
Right, and affordability is huge for companies.
Right. So with all of those indicators, we would choose Adventure.
Which is another reinforcement of the variety of tool sets.
Yes.
We can go out and create a $3,000 to $7,000 video for you if that's what your company wants. Or if you're more budget minded and that happens for people, we can have them come in at 9 o'clock, sit down on a virtual set, much like this one here, and it looks like you're on a $100,000 set, and they can be done recording by 10, 11 o'clock. They could have 2 or 3 short videos about their product or service. And by 1, 2 o'clock, they can have those videos loaded and using them to get calls that very same day. And it's much more affordable we are the only one in the Valley utilizing this tool set for that purpose.
And that also comes down to return on investment and being sensitive to the time of each organization and company. So with that being said, we do have a brief video that will show how this actually works out.
Very good.
In the next 20 seconds, you'll learn how to get new customers and reach a larger audience with no cost for radio or TV. Adventure Video gives you more ways to put your message in front of thousands of people for free. You can grow your bottom line and get new customers calling you today. Nothing is simpler, and Adventure Video brings it to you. Are you interested? If you watch this video, then you understand the benefits of what Adventure Video is offering you. Adventure Video offers more solutions than anyone else in the Valley to deliver your message to your target audience. Whether you want to create an e-video to enhance your email marketing, create a welcome message or sales video for people who land on your website, capture your next conference, workshop, or concert with our multi-camera process, live stream your event to millions of people on the internet, or any other video needs, Adventure Video remains the Valley's leader in cutting-edge technology, and we have more ways to create your video affordably. Give us a call to find out more.
Record your video at 9 a.m. and have it in front of your customers by that afternoon. It's that easy. No other disclaimer needed. Call today to learn more.
That was an outstanding example of how time management works well with every organization. In Adventure, they're the organization that can carry that through for your business. So with that being said, Ted, have some more questions for you in reference to, let's talk more about live streaming, because that's very important as well for an organization.
That's a
What can you
key
share about that?
component of a new way people are reaching audiences, where they live stream an event. It could be a city council meeting. It could be a community forum. There's several activities going on. And the live streaming or multi-camera production for like Fig Advisory Board did a cooking segment. We can do a multi-camera recording of that, employee orientation videos and employee presentations.
Oh, excellent.
We can go out, record a multi-camera so you don't spend days editing. And at the end of that, the client has a finished production that can be played forever, used for other employees, as well as concerts. A band can do a concert. And at the end, they have 6, 7 finished music videos to upload.
And that's an excellent resource for the organization to put on their website. So again, it comes down to video, and the digital age is here, and it is something to utilize to really increase your business.
We have a short video that talks about the multi-camera and live streaming technology, if we can play that.
Excellent.
Relic left over from the last century. You could tell some tales to a youngster like me.
incredible thing that happens.
And they're not really wearing orange jackets today because it's so warm out there right now.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it?
Unseasonably. This is not supposed to happen. So, I mean, you know, we would prefer rain, but if you can't have rain, you'll have 65, 70 degree weather. It's okay.
Constantly growing, and you're working with your lawyer, and you're working with your internal team or your external team, and it's always changing.
Or if you really want to go bonkers, just get something really high tannins, like a very heavy Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh my gosh, what an awesome sweep.
We all know that live streaming is very important for a business, and in order to take that video and placing that on one's website is extraordinarily helpful for one's business. In addition, in reference to increasing one's business acumen and having better relationships with individuals within the community, networking, Chamber of Commerce, working with the community makes such a huge impact. I know that Ted is excellent at this. And Ted, would you like to share some more about your tactics as far as working with those in the community?
Yes, briefly, the benefit of a company belonging to a Chamber of Commerce is about threefold. First of all, it helps you network with others. What that does, it allows you to find good businesses and to utilize those connections that you have and send some work their way. Because it's not all about, here's my card, call me if you want me.
Right.
It really needs to be about, oh, thanks for your card. I run into 2-3 people a month that could use your business, be it printing, plumber, whatever.
You're a connector.
Right, exactly. I enjoy that role. Another benefit of working with a local chamber is individually, we can only do so much to help our community. There are tons of nonprofits and charities that could use some support.
Yes.
And collectively, I may partner with 2 or 3 other people with similar but not exact services. And we may be able to combine our services for video, a website company, as well as a SEO marketing company to help one of the local nonprofits to grow and to provide more services for others in the community. So collectively, we really can do more than individually, and that's another benefit to the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, and really what it comes down to is, here's an opportunity in reference to, you're a business owner, you're at a Chamber of Commerce event, wonderful opportunity to connect with others.
Right.
And again, it's not so much about, here's my business, it's a lot of times it's about, what can I do to help you?
Exactly.
And you know, it all comes around.
Yes.
It's all about paying it forward.
Right.
And that's what's really, truly important. So with that being said, we recognize that you are a man about town, you're a part of the community, and we are so fortunate for that.
Thank you for that.
And in reference to the work that you do at Adventure, we are all aware that video has just amazing impact as far as an enormous increase in your business.
Right.
So that's key as well. But we'd like to take a little bit of time now for our viewers to view your outstanding studio. So
Excellent.
we do have a studio tour. So thank you to all of our viewers today. It's been an excellent conversation with Ted. And so let's roll it and take a look at the studio. Thank you for visiting with us today.